Okay, we continue with this course, and now I'm going to dedicate to for the next minute, or next minute, talk about a little more to link global things in terms of intercultural business communication. And you can see in your PowerPoint, there are a very powerful definition about globalization, and so I just give you as a message. Uh, Culture is important component of the interaction of individuals around the globe, and globalization is part of that. Globalization means increase of interdependence, boundaries, division of economic, social changes, political changes, migration of money, new ideas, values, uncertainties, unpredictable situation. All of this is inside of globalization. Globalization is not just one terminology, it's not just one concept. It's so complex. And we need to understand that. So, in other words, globalization is at once a risk and opportunity. You have to decide which one you want. Globalization is not new. It's a trend toward integration, and also it's not new because it's be- begun several years ago. You know, I think that we came back to 100, 200 years ago, and we have some vestige of global things in our ancestors. The natural also the nature of globalization is multifaceted. So it is impossible to talk about globalization in a simple and single manner. You have to link globalization for several things. Globalization can be defined as a macro or micro level. We can see globalization in the entire world, or we can see globalization as a single country, or we can talk about globalization as with just one industry or a complex industry or a small business. We can talk about global people as you. So it's referred to growing economy, interdependence, social changes, competitiveness, inter-competitiveness, and so on. So it is a complex, but also is a passionate concept to that we have to understand. As part of this globalization, also we need to look aside and very close that today world trade takes place in around the world, you know, but there are some specific big blocks of trade. For example, in the Western Union, the Western Europe, we have the European Union, big one, powerful. In Asia, we have the famous four tigers, who is Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea, and of course China. So in the Americas, for example, we have the certain blocks of commerce and international things like a NAFTA, CAFTA, Mercosur, the Andean Community of Nations, and of course the renovated and future FTAA for a trade of the Americas, Agreement of the Americas. Of course, there are other regions that are important trade on important blocks like Russian Federation, India, and so on. So this is part of all the wave of globalization in business, and globalization in culture, globalization in everything. So why study global or international communication or international business and jump or link to communication? What is the relation of the political issues or the social issues and globalization? What is the relation of globalization itself or political issues with cultural sensitivity or cultural encounters? All of this you have to think about it. I don't have a question. I don't have the answer at this moment, but I don't want to tell you the answer at this moment. But also, it's time that you make that question mark to you and start to thinking about it and discover. So, the extraordinary speed and scope of change that has become a factor affecting business world, the business world as never before. We are different than, than yesterday. And we're going to become different than tomorrow. Every second that we change. Every second that we change because we are different compared with the environment that we're living with. So companies, they're in the process of, when they decide to go to the process of become global companies, they face two major issues. One, they need to be both globally integrated and oriented and locally receptive and open. And the second one is the need to develop an organization capable of transferring knowledge and learning through the world. And the first one, the need of be both globally and understand locally, means that not because you become a global company, you're going to forget your local things. No, you have to bring all this together and be part and link to the connection to global things.